what actually helped me with epilepsy. So, what I had to learn with 22 years of trial and error that nobody taught me in a doctor's office, no family, no friend could help me figure it out. Because when you're diagnosed, nobody gives you this. They give you all the things you can't do, all the things that the pills, the options for surgeries, possibly. They teach you the medications. They teach you the seizure precautions. They teach you when your next appointment is, maybe in 6 months or a year. Not every single day, but they don't teach you how to live. And if you're anything like I was, you might be carrying a lot more than seizures. You might be carrying fear. You might be carrying shame. You might be carrying isolation, anger, lots of anger. All right, I still carry that shit. I carry all of that, and I have been doing a yoga, therapy, anything that you can think of to explore this, I have been. I've lived with intractable epilepsy for 22 years, and for a long time, I didn't know anyone with epilepsy. And in fact, I was so ashamed to tell anybody of this diagnosis that I spent years pretending just didn't exist. Because I was a millennial and everybody bullied everybody. And if you were any bit of different or weird, somebody was going to say something about it. So I dissociated. I used drugs to escape what I was feeling. I buried the fear instead of facing it. And I remember telling one of my best friends that if she ever told anyone I had epilepsy, because she was the first one to have me see me have a seizure, our friendship would be over. That's how much shame I carried. So I wasn't just afraid of seizures. I was afraid of being seen fully for everything I was now that I was diagnosed with epilepsy. I was afraid people would judge me. So the things that let me think, the things that taught me how to be seen, how I overcame this. The first thing was yoga, to be honest, and not the yoga that you see all over here, okay? Like the touching your toes and doing all these ab workouts, not that yoga, even though I do advise physical exercise. Yoga didn't help me become more flexible, or that's not what changed. Yoga helped me because it taught me how to listen, how to be in my body that I had spent so many years dissociating, and taught me how to slow down. It taught me how to pay attention to what was happening inside my body and mind. Modern medicine is incredible. It helps diagnose epilepsy. It helps treat people with epilepsy. It helps people feel safe, I think. But medicine often doesn't teach us how to understand ourselves. Yoga taught me awareness. Awareness of the stress and awareness of the exhaustion, awareness of the emotions I was suppressing, and awareness of patterns that affected my overall well-being. For years, I was so disconnected from my body and out of my complete mind. No judgment if you're doing that, because I totally get it. Yoga helped me reconnect, not to cure epilepsy, but to better navigate life with it. And second, the community. Look, I'm editing this teleprompter. If you have epilepsy, then you know. So the second thing that changed my life was community, because epilepsy was incredibly lonely, especially when you pretend that you just don't have it. All right, I was diagnosed at 16. It didn't exist to me until I was remembered that I had it. Many people around you care, but they truly don't understand what it's like to live with seizures. They don't understand the seizure anxiety. They don't understand the medication side effects. They don't understand the uncertainty of everyday life. Whether you are seizure-free or not seizure-free, nobody understands that shit. And then I started connecting with people who understood, whether it was epilepsy or just people can call it trauma bonding, but not the trauma bonding where we just like stay in our trauma, all right? We're doing something productive with the shit. And something shifted. I realized I wasn't broken. I wasn't weak. I wasn't the only one struggling. This is where it started, is in yoga communities, but now I'm in many communities. We are wired for that connection, and we are wired to belong. So it's extremely important to pick communities that are going to elevate you, all right? And some communities, I don't know, when your parents like warned you about be careful who your friends are and all this stuff about you are who your top 5 friends. I don't know how accurate that is, because you're your own person, so make your own choices. Anyways, third thing, coaches, teachers, and mentors really changed my life. Okay. Having somebody to support you, hold you accountable, yet kind of give you the cheat code to certain skill sets, certain things that you want to become, and think outside of the box to maybe the people that you've surrounded yourself with, or people that love you. Okay. So people that love you and scared for you, they are going to give you advice way different than a coach and a mentor who's going to take a step back and give you prompts or maybe direction. It's going to help you on your journey. No judgment. Maybe silently, but anyways. Right, mentors challenge me to think differently, to stop seeing epilepsy as the end of my story. Maybe some of them just told me not to focus on them, but that's where you have to use discernment. Life becomes lighter regardless when you don't have to figure out life alone. And then fourth, communication and boundaries. The fourth thing I had to learn was communication. Probably the hardest thing, because obviously if you've stayed this long, I like to talk, all right? Could have ADHD, but we can't take stimulants. Anyways, I don't want to inconvenience people, or I'm so nervous that I will overtalk, and then the shame, the judgment. You feel like a burden if you over ask. Maybe that resonates with you. So you kind of keep the epilepsy part, or you're not understanding how it's controlling in a way that you communicate. So you really have to listen to what's going on to better communicate what you even need. Also, not fully relying, so you can see how capable you are, and being able to actively listen to you, being able to actively listening to others, and keep these boundaries of not everybody's judging you, and learning how not to judge everybody else. It's just like this video. There was once upon a time, I probably wouldn't post it because I would be so scared of what everybody would think. And this is going to be a whole hot mess, all right? Because I'm not taking all the damn time to edit it. I hope I get the point across of this, that the things I had to learn in order to maneuver with epilepsy and really find new freedoms and perspectives through it instead of living in shame. So if there's one thing I want you to remember, a life with epilepsy is not perfect life. It might not even be a seizure-free life. It's not a life without challenges. And a life is a life where epilepsy no longer gets to define who you are. It's a life where you stop hiding, stop shrinking, stop carrying shame, and start building support. Start understanding yourself. That starts with you. And a mentor is extremely helpful. Don't get me wrong. Somebody that there's no strings attached. It's a business transaction. Because after 22 years of living with intractable epilepsy, I've learned something powerful. The diagnosis may be a part of your story, but you are the author of that story, okay? You are. And if you're ready to move from surviving epilepsy to living empowered with epilepsy, you're in the right place. And I welcome to you. I want to give you so many life hacks, especially like when it comes to yoga, movement. If you're hiding pieces of yourself, real raw content. So stay around, ask questions. I have links in the bio as well if you want to check those out. I'm really new to this YouTube still, like 2 years. But hey, we'll grow together. Okay? You have a good one.